welcome back to another episode of the Major Music Lounge podcast. It's your boy D Dot, and today we're actually going to be talking to Amsterdam-based artist Sani, who's going to stop by to talk to us about his recent single Lostboy Prelude II. And I also got a chance to listen to some of his other projects, which we'll get into as well. We're going to talk about some of his content on YouTube, and he's also a podcaster, kind of a similar title to the single that he just dropped, Lost Boy. This is actually called the Lost Boy Radio Podcast. So it's going to be kind of cool to talk to another podcaster as well. I love having podcasters on the Major Music Lounge podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, I like to talk to music creators. It's been a while since we had someone internationally on, but I like to talk to artists. I like to talk to producers, sound designers, music production app developers, and then music creators that also have placements within the music industry. Maybe you had a major placement with a artist, or maybe you also have some experience getting some of your tracks placed in film or television, and we would love to hear your story. It's mainly a music creation podcast, or we just talk about your journey creating music to share some of that experience with other music creators. And you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at d.majormusic, and also X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at d.mme. Now let's go ahead and get into the interview. Like to welcome everybody to another edition of the Major Music Lounge podcast, joined by Amsterdam artist Sani. What's good, my brother?
Yeah. I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. Feels good to do this, and yeah, I'm happy. Nice to meet you, man. Also my first time meeting you, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, definitely. I really also appreciate you reaching out to me. I put those posts out there every once in a while to connect with new
Mm,
artists like yourself and new producers. And it's good to have these conversations about music and about your journey creating music. I did get a chance to check out some of your work, which we'll get into. I checked out
mm,
your Lost Boy Prelude, and then I also checked out that Daniel's Flex mixtape.
yeah.
Flex tape, excuse me.
Like stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and I checked out your YouTube as well. So we'll get into some of your content, but like tell our
Mm.
audience, how long have you been creating music?
Okay, uh, it's about 4 years now, I think. I put out my first song, like my first official release, 2021. So technically it's like 2.5 years, something like that.
Okay. All
But
right.
I've been recording since like 2018. I started
Okay.
recording 2018. It took a while before I got to the point where I felt like, you know what, this song is good enough. Let's let it go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so roughly it was like 5 years I've been actively chasing like being a recording artist.
Yeah, first and foremost, very good music. I wouldn't have known that it's been 5 years, just from a lot of the music that I heard from you. And like, who are some of your influences? Because I noticed listening to some of your music, you got a hip hop vibe, but then you also
Yeah,
got that kind of Afro beat vibe.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of the artists that influenced you to become a music creator.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm happy you see it like that because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. It's just, you know, like you just make the kind of music I guess you listen to or you grow up on and stuff like that. So that's when I started making music. That's when I realized the kind of music that I've been listening to, like,
Yeah.
because this is what comes natural to me. I was born in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. So the Afro side is on lock. Like it's not going anywhere. And I spent like 20 plus years before I moved to the Netherlands. So that was that because Afrobeat is sick. That's it in Nigeria. It's everywhere. There's still hip hop. There's still a bit of everything, but that's the dominant one. So I guess that's where that's from. But on the hip hop side, I don't know, I feel like this might be pretty obvious, but I listen to Drake
Yeah,
quite a lot.
yeah,
And it's crazy because, when I say Drake, it sounds like the obvious name, but it took a while before I realized how, you know, the level of that guy. And then that's really, really what drove my interest in like rap music even more because I understood like his vulnerability and just it was just different, man. And it was real, and I just really like you couldn't deny that. And that's, yeah, those are I listen to who else do I listen to, man? I would say influence. In terms of influence, I would say Drake. Yeah, also it's just this and that one is a whole different level. For him it's way more than the music, and that's what I like about that. There's certain things I pick from him, not everything, but uh yeah, basically I listen to a lot of The Weeknd.
yeah. I can hear that in your
Yeah.
music. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Weeknd, yeah, I listen to The Weeknd, sometimes Post Malone. I
Okay.
listen to a bit of everything, man, but the real people that I took personal was like Drake music, The Game. I listen to a lot of The Game. It's insane. That guy can rap, and it's just been like that. I like the energy. In Nigeria, from the Afro beats, I listen to a lot of Davido, Burna. And this was like back then. Right about now, I realized when I started making like my own music, I wasn't listening to other people's music as much. It's not like I think mine is so good, it's only but I'm always working on something new. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
probably always listening to over, and there's just no time. I don't even know what's happening right now, who's hot or whatnot. I mean, I see some things from time to time, but I'm just more focused on mine. But yeah, those people I just listed, those are the names I could pick out. I feel like it's a lot of those guys kind of music in my playlist.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like, well, one, I can, kind of like I was saying while you were saying that is, I could hear some of that influence in a lot of your music, some of the tracks that I
Yeah.
listen to. And then, I mean, that is only right. Like, everybody that creates music, like, you don't ever, and at least I've never met anybody that just kind of started creating music just to create it. Like, they create it because they saw somebody that influenced them. They saw somebody that influenced their sound. And,
Oh.
regardless if you got your own vibe as a artist or producer, you always still might hear a little bit of that influence in your music based off of who you're inspired by. So, I can definitely feel you on that. Now, do you make beats too, or are you just an artist?
Yeah, I do from time to time, but I'm not so good at I'm getting into that. I've made a couple, but to be honest, I don't even enjoy doing it. But as from time to time, I can make some progressions. I could put some things, and but yeah, but I would say I'm like, I don't want to put a number to it, but I'm just not. It's not something I'm excited about, at least as of right now. But I
Yeah,
do from
it's
time
just
to
kind of
time.
something. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the other way around. Like, I'm mainly the producer, but I'm an
Uh,
artist too with that. It's not that I don't like being an artist at this point. I'm just kind of more like I'm still making
yeah.
albums, but I'm more focused on producing for other
Producing.
people at this time than I am for, myself. So that's what I'm kind of having fun with right now. Now, I did also notice like, well, first you got a pretty deep catalog, considering you've been making music
Yeah.
for what, 5 years.
Yeah.
Now, do you, and I always like to ask this question to artists that come on, but like, are you a person that kind of sets a goal in terms of like how many songs or how many tracks you want to create, or do you create mainly based off of like inspiration, emotion? Like, how do you go about creating?
Hmm. It changes. I'm not gonna lie because right now I'm in a different mind state than I was like last year. But when I first started, I have this, and I advise every artist or anybody at all to have this sort of business mind at the back of your head when you're doing what you're doing. And especially as music, if you want to be an artist, like that's what you're doing, you know, the product, that's music, that's the product in their music, because that's what you're trying to sell and hope people like. It's important to have a catalog. I don't even
Yeah,
know what else to say.
yeah,
Just let's start from there. You need to have that, and that was my mindset when I started. I wasn't even. I was just thinking, how can I make music like easy? Like, how can I get instead of having to go meet a producer, go pay studio time, go do all of, how can I get to the point where I can just make that in my room? And I got all this and I started to learn all of that. And now I could make music. So now you have to keep doing that. You have to keep, I keep selling this thing. No one is going to buy what you're not selling. If you don't have music to listen to, no one is going to listen to it for sure.
yeah,
But if you have it there, like you said now, it's like when you're talking to me when you first started this podcast, you're like, oh, you notice some Afro vibes here and some this. That's because it's there and you can just check. It already like has spoken for you literally before you even said anything. So that was my mindset. That's why I was rapidly dropping songs. It was not like there was a target like, oh, I have to do it. As soon as it comes, as out when I put out a song, I think it's good enough, it's out. I wasn't even trying to waste time on promotions or any of that. That's not just where I was at the time. But right now, I'm taking it a little bit slower. I feel like I have, a huge body of work. It's like you said, I know it's a lot because
yeah,
it's not the average what everyone just does. It's just because that's how I want to operate. And now I'm taking my time. I'm, doing visuals. I'm actually taking time and planning the release, stretching it, trying to build some momentum and all of that. And that's just where I am at the time. But in terms of like, what's my process, it's just the feeling, man.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like this is the time to do those things because right now, like you're literally just starting out. It's not like you have like a brand to protect or something like that. So right now is the time to do all of these things. Try, put the song out, do whatever, you don't know. And just that's just whatever my spirit leads, I do it. I don't think twice. I might think twice sometimes, but basically,
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to have a catalog at the end of the day because I mean, a lot of guys, a lot of artists, in general, somebody in
yeah.
fact might approach me, hey, could I get on the podcast? So, and just like I asked to hear some of your tracks,
Yeah.
I might ask them to hear their tracks. And they're like, oh, well, I've never released anything. And
Mm,
it's kind of like, I want to give everybody the opportunity, but at the same time, like, I want to talk about experience. I want to talk about
yeah.
like, your time releasing music. And I think aside from that, as a creator as well, like, there's a fine line between putting out a catalog, a quality catalog versus just having quantity tracks as well. And I know some artists that they may not drop as many albums, but they drop, singles every couple
Mm,
of months, and that's still cool as well. They're out there, they're constantly building their catalog, whether it's one track or whether it's 15 tracks at a time. And
mm,
yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, you should be working on something. And who knows? You mentioned visuals. I mean, you might come out with a single. Why not shoot a video to that single and I don't know, make it
mm,
kind of like a trilogy or something where you're coming out with
mm,
different singles throughout. So talk
mm,
about a little bit about that. I'm into visuals myself, shooting videos. Got a couple of videos. In fact, I went onto your YouTube and I also noticed you had the what is it, 2 a.m., 9 a.m. in
yeah.
Amsterdam. Is that going to be a part of a new project you have coming out?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm trying to take my time with it this time. So this is gonna be in a new project. This is like the first single off of that project. And I'm really, really trying to stretch that single. You understand what I'm saying? I'm really, really
Yeah.
trying to, from the YouTube, I'm dropping like teaser videos and just hints and hints. It's gonna be out sometime next month.
Okay.
The video is right now in process of editing. It's with the guy editing it, and we're going back and forth. And you know, it's just, 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 it's just it's just re-strategizing as for me as where I am now. And that's just what this is, man. It's not doing visuals is not something that I've, heavily invested in before. I'm a little bit shy sometimes.
Yeah,
And I try and I have so many like my friends, my colleagues that are also creative. I have a bunch of video guys with me and they keep telling me at some point you're gonna have to do this.
yeah,
And I'm just like, I know, I know, I know. But now I'm really, really getting into it. Shooting the video was a whole lot because I had to be cool and stuff. And yo, man, that shit is tiring as fuck. But I'm just getting into it basically, and it's exciting because it's the more I'm doing it, the more it's giving me more ideas, and I'm thinking like you can really create something, like create a visual, create something compelling and tell a story. Like my mind is crazy sometimes,
yeah,
and I feel like you can really get people into your mind a little bit and just taste like, yo, this guy's onto something. And I feel like, you know what, from now, like moving on, that was kind of my goal this year. I want to shoot like 4 to 5 visuals at least this year. And each with a different setting and a different mindset and all that. So yeah, that's just fingers crossed. And I'm just taking one at a time. 9 a.m. in Amsterdam, that's a new song. Yeah, just a song I recorded sometime this year, and it's just, I think it's really nice, and I want to put it out. Also, just to tap into the Amsterdam city a little bit, and just kind of, I feel like I can do all of this now because you laid base. You have a solid. No, I don't want to say solid, but you have a catalog of something that can always, pass your message faster. But right now, it's more about being strategic, about tapping in the right places, the right shots, and all of that. That's just where I am right now. I don't even know what the question was anymore, but
nah,
that's where I am
just
right now.
yeah. I mean, you pretty much nailed it. Just really just asking about, like just about how you come up with some of these visuals and like what it's like to work on some of these visuals as an artist. Because you kind of like I was saying earlier,
Mhm.
visuals to me is kind of like a small mini movie. Could be a couple of minutes
Yeah.
long, and to me, like I like performing. I do like doing
Mm.
shows, but I also know that a lot of the people that are my fans are spread out to other cities, other parts of the
Yeah.
world, and I think that the music videos allow me to connect with them because, I hope to one day get big enough to go and perform in those other places.
Yeah, for
But at the
sure.
same time, I want to kind of bring them into my own world to kind of, see, okay, this is what he was talking about on this song. This is the concept that he was talking about. 'Cause I think a lot of times too, people shoot videos and it's cool to have a video, but there's no direction behind it.
Mm.
And,
Mm.
I think
Absolutely.
you can do both, but at times, it's better to have well, that kind of also
Yeah.
speaks to the song as well, because are you telling a real story in the song to where you can build a video telling a story as well.
It does.
Yeah,
It's important. I totally agree. I feel like, most importantly, I feel like when there's like a story, just something that sticks, it creates more than just liking the song. Now it creates a memory, creates something that if you watch the video and you listen to the song, it's different now when you listen to the song. You cannot listen to it without understanding it fully now. And you're onto something. I just something I never really took that serious. And I'm hearing you say it now, and I'm like, damn, he's right. Like, you know, one step at a
yeah.
time.
One step at a time. One step at a time. What's the like music scene looking like in Amsterdam? Like how long you been there? You because you grew up in Africa.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
grew up in Nigeria, Lagos,
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yeah. In Amsterdam. Uh, I would say like it's there for the taking. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's a bunch of people doing their thing. It's a bunch of artists. Um, but listen, man, I just know I don't want to say this without sounding so cocky, but like it just feels like it's just waiting for me to take it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just how
Nah,
it
nah,
feels
yeah,
sometimes. Like shout out to everyone and everybody doing their thing. And but like, yo, like I just feel like, you know what I'm trying to say, man. I
Yeah,
just want to put respect to everyone because I don't know these people personally and what they're doing. It's heavily right now. I don't know if you heard of this. It's a new type of sound from Africa. I'm a piano. You heard of my piano?
vaguely, a little bit, little bit.
Yeah, but it's you listen to any African artist, you listen to anyone like Davido, Burner,
I'm gonna
none
have
of
to.
them.
I'll burn it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Burner. Yeah, Burner. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't say he does that kind of sound a lot, but yeah, there's a sound called Amapiano. It's kind of big in the Netherlands. Also techno, EDM, and
okay.
Netherlands in general, it's not a big country, so it's the music scene is not even it's not as crazy as you would think it should be because it's music. Music is like crazy everywhere, but
Yeah,
you know, it's just mainly techno music and techno parties. And I feel like they need Sani, like they need a new sound to show them that there is sounds that need to be brought out of here, something like that. And that's how I look at this scene. I just don't see. I just feel like, yo, like I'm not even phased by any of this. Like you get me?
yeah, yeah. I could see. Like, I'm always just curious, even here in the States, how state by state, how the music scene is, and just kind of across the world. And I mean, you have a lot of places like that here as well. Like with the way music creation is and technology is, you don't necessarily need to be in a bigger city, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it's like people that gain these followings by just having an online presence
Yeah.
and partnering that with when you go to seek opportunities in your city, you like, okay, well, I got a following of this many people. I want to throw a show in your
Mm,
venue. And that doesn't necessarily mean that at the same time you're going to build that same type of fan base locally, but you kind of got more leverage to be able to get shows and then
yeah.
in turn be able to, because if there's nobody like standing out in your city, you're right, it is up there for the taking. And that's kind of what I see here in a lot of these other towns of lesser known artists here, across the states here. So you absolutely are correct, man. Um,
Yeah. But do you think it's important though, like having like a local fan base, like a just like a good number for things like having a show or something like that?
yes and no. Like, I think that I think that we live in an era now where you can connect with so many people because like I would say more people that have bought my music or streamed my music probably live outside of the city that I live in
Mm,
than the people that live here. Now, I used to do a lot more performances, I would probably say 5 years ago, maybe prior to like COVID.
yeah.
But like ever since then, I've kind of taken my focus and mainly focused on doing a lot more like music videos. And
Mm,
I've even kind of stepped out the box, like with the music videos. I'm starting to shoot these short form videos for like Instagram and TikTok of some of
yeah.
my music, and I've noticed that people have liked that as well. So I'm kind of starting to tap into that. But like, I do think, I mean, any way you can get it locally, if that works for you, um, by all means, I think a lot of people should place their focus wherever they get most of their fans from. And
Mm,
if that's local versus in other cities, then by all means go ahead and do it. But I just think the way that works for me is based off of like what I built. I think most of my fans are in other places. So
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. It's the same thing for me too. I feel like most of my like listeners are also from other places. It's surprising sometimes it's from other countries and you wonder how you even get there. But but yeah, you're right. It is important to have a home base, at
and
least for
yeah,
shows and like quick money.
I came like a year ago or so around this time actually. and I dropped a instrumental project a year ago, Cruising Music, and that was getting so many plays like in Canada, and I've never been to Canada. And I know a couple of people from Canada, but like I can't say that we're good friends or anything like that. So I don't know if it's necessarily them, but I look
Yeah,
at those Apple Music and Spotify, and then also I'm kind of building something on Bandcamp, and then like the YouTube content as well. I'm noticing like I have pretty good international numbers, and it's
mm,
just kind of trying to do more the same and discover new ways to really like grow locally because
yeah,
not doing as many events as I used to. I'm just trying to figure that part out, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, Definitely, I've never traveled internationally, but like one of the places I do want to go is Amsterdam. So you never know, man.
yeah.
I may pop up out there at some point. We'll see.
Yo, yo, it is fun. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have so much fun. Amsterdam is fun.
So
That I
like,
can assure you.
what I guess outside of music, like what would you say is your favorite thing to do out there?
Huh. Damn. Really? Wow, I never thought of this. Outside music, clothing, fashion.
Okay, all right.
You know what's funny? Before I started music, because it's crazy. I started music when I was like grown. Like I was already, I graduated from school already before I even decided to start writing songs. But before then, I used to make clothes back in Lagos, Nigeria. You know, I used to design clothes. I used to work with some tailors. Sometimes I just import like already made clothes. And I used to sell them like via Instagram and stuff like that. And I wasn't making like crazy money, but I was making some sales enough to let me know like, bro, it's possible. You just need to find a way to make it like bigger. But and it's something I've always liked, you get me? And when I moved to Netherlands, like the switch, that was really, really where I realized, you just have to let that go for now. It's still somewhere at the back of my mind. So maybe one day when all this is said and done, I will tap back into that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I can think of like that I really, really like besides music.
Yeah, I mean, do it. There's a lot of different hustles out there for us all,
I know,
and
right?
as long as it's bringing in the money, and
Exactly.
yeah,
Yo, this
yeah,
world is changing right now, man. I was talking to my sister the other day and I'm like, yo, it's people making millions from their room, like from
crazy.
their room right now. Like you think like I don't think you understand the kind of world this is. Like these people that are just making money just because they have a phone. And that's it. That's just it. And it's like just whatever you bro, just go for it, man. There's a lot of things to do, man.
And
Just go for it.
it's just crazy. Like I might hear a name, it could be of a artist even or producer, and I just go look up their Instagram or their Twitter, and I'm like, they got over a million followers, and I'm like, I've never heard of this
I
person
never
before.
like yo. I'm like, where how you had this so many fans? I never met anybody that was your fan before, just to even know you like, but you have your own like audience somewhere, like
Yeah,
your own active like audience, and it's just
that's
like,
the way the world
damn,
is now. It's crazy.
crazy.
It's
But it's
crazy.
good, it's good.
But
I like that. I like it. I like it because you know it shows you that people would really like check what they want to check. Like people would really, if someone likes your content, they will really come to you to watch it. It's not, everybody can have their own now. It's not like this, like a general thing where everybody has to watch. No, you can just really be like, sometimes I open someone's laptop, somebody's YouTube, bro, it's like a whole different world.
yeah,
But my YouTube is a whole different world you're seeing entirely. It's just what you like. Go check what you like. Everybody can have theirs. Everyone will be fine.
yeah, you
I
just
like
gotta
it.
keep going. You never know when that idea will pop off, and that's the idea that could really, make you take off. And
Sure.
other businesses or ventures that you're working on will take off with it. So I definitely can understand that. Um, what kind of plans do you have for, I mean, it's still March, so it's relatively early in the year, but like what kind of plans do you have for the remainder of the year?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a project this year. I'm gonna take my time, drop a project this year. If there's time, maybe drop a couple more songs. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I'm the kind of artist that likes to, I don't like to take time. I like to constantly put out music. I believe everybody doesn't have to like every single song. Just the one you like, just listen to that one. I'm fine. And so this year I want to make a solid project, and I've actually had recorded like three, four of the songs. I'm still putting it together, but it's like three songs that I have, and I feel like this is good. And this 9 a.m. in Amsterdam, the one is about to drop, is also part of it. And yeah, along with the project, I would like to shoot some visuals. I'm hoping to get, a nice feature for the. I need a remix of that song 9 a.m. in Amsterdam, and I need an artist from Amsterdam because you need to tap in.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you get me? And that's just what I'm trying to do. The aim of this project is to basically, because I'm also trying to push it on the marketing side. I'm working with some people, I'm really working with some people. Like I'm actually taking money out of my salary
Mhm.
to pay an assistant, to pay a media guy, because I'm trying to just, it's like war, man. You know, when you're at war, I keep saying people like when you're at war, like at some point you're gonna attack. Like it doesn't matter your strategy. It doesn't matter if you want to you have like 10 archers and everybody. At some point you're gonna have to go attack the person, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to make a project and attack this Amsterdam scene, at least just to create something to let them know that there is someone, the Sani
Yeah,
in
it's
this mix
coming.
right now, and I just need that boost, and that's what I'm trying to do with this project this year, shoot more visuals. And even if it doesn't happen like that, it's fine. It's still my shit. I'm still building it and it's still
Yeah,
there and I'm still making money from it and it will still be mine. And that's my goal for this year as far as I'm concerned. Put out a project, try to, use that project, break into the scene. And this Amsterdam, Netherlands scene, it's not so crazy. It's something that can easily, I don't want to say easily because I could have done it, but like it's something that could, if you
there for
really
the taking.
strategize, you can do something. So that's just what I'm about this year.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
year I feel like I have a new thing to do. It's crazy because I've not been a new year kind of person, but since I started the music, I started setting goals for the year, and so far everything has been happening
Well,
so
yeah,
far.
I'm the same way. It's like I'm not a really like New Year resolution person, but from a like creative standpoint, I always look at, okay, what is something else that I can add to what I'm doing? What is something else
Hmm.
that I can do differently that I haven't done yet musically? And like I've done that with YouTube, I've done that with just a lot of the other overall content that I've been making, and it has helped me to some degree. But yeah, you always gotta keep on improving
Keep
off of what you do the
improving.
previous year, because that's the only way you're gonna grow.
For sure, man. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
It feels,
Oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, it feels so far, it feels good. It feels like I'm still on track, and it feels, positive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean I did want to talk about well, two more things. Lost Boy,
Yeah,
Prelude, you dropped that
yeah,
recently. Now,
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
going also along with the 9 a.m. Amsterdam project, or is that a separate deal?
No. That's a separate thing. That Lost Boy Prelude it's not a project that I took like so seriously. You get me? It's just I have this idea. Ah man, it's crazy putting it out right now. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I have this idea, Lost Boy. Some point I want to drop a project called Lost Boy, and I feel like that would be really my kind of music and not just hear Afro beats and then it's hip hop and then it's this and then no, it should just be my kind of and my kind of sound is like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like it's a mix of like R&B and soul, like The Weeknd, the kind of vibe,
Yeah.
something like that. You would hear it if you hear it. There's a song I can recommend, but that would just be what it is, because it's really gonna be me talking about myself and how I really had to get lost to find myself here. So this Lost Boy Prelude, it's kind of like a hint of that. This is the second prelude. I did a prelude once, like an EP, two songs, like a year ago. I don't even know if anybody's taking notes, but at some point, when all is said and done, you will see that I really did all of this. It's just my mind was on this project, you get me? I was not ready to drop any songs onto this project. But one day I was just in the studio messing around and I realized like I recorded these two songs on the project and they seemed good and I just worked on it a little bit more. And I felt like, you know what, maybe I just, just put out some music, for the meantime while I cook up the other shit. And that's what this Lost Boy Prelude is. But it's still a hint as to Lost Boy, as to just know that there
That
will
was
be.
dope. That was dope.
Mm.
That was really dope. I like that.
Appreciate it, man.
And you got a podcast as well, called
Yeah,
Lostboy Radio. Tell us a little bit
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, Lost Boy Radio. Is listen, man. I listen to a lot of podcasts. You get me? Like I listen to a lot. Sometimes that's what I listen to
Yeah.
all the time, and I listen to artists talk, music talk, everything, and it has helped me like a lot. Like I listened to some of your interviews too when I got to know you. So I just randomly downloaded like three or four. I don't know who those people were, but I just listened. And you'd be surprised how these conversations, like what they're doing to someone listening, like, and that's just so many things I've learned about this music shit, so many things that have helped me up till now. I just learned by listening to just someone talk about how they did it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's why I just had it in me like I want to start a podcast because the more I'm growing, the more I'm learning things, the more I'm knowing things, the more I'm experiencing. There are things that I didn't learn anywhere. I had to experience it, and now I'm like, oh yeah, so this is how this is. And I just feel like I want to share it with people too. I want to talk to people who've done things and just, bro, just tap in and share information, man. You don't know, and
Yeah.
that's really why I decided to do the Lost Boy Radio podcast. And then I had this friend of mine, he's a video guy. At some point, I'd given up. I wasn't even gonna do it anymore. But he hit me up. Was like, "Listen, man, I will shoot your video for you." And we basically will work something out, and that's just how we started doing it. And it's not, we don't do it as often as possible because we gotta work and we do
Yeah.
shit and all
Yeah.
that. But when we can, we still try to meet some artists. Or this doesn't even have to be artists, any other person. If you want to be on it, that would be nice too. I don't mind at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. We can do
But
it, man. Yeah. Feel free to let me know. I'll be there. I'll definitely
oh, for
be there.
sure, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
that's kind of, the same way, like I've told this story on a podcast before, but like a lot of people that have been following me, I'm talking about for at least since 2015 or longer. Um, I did another show, a radio show that we used to come on Blog Talk Radio years ago, and that was called The Producer's Corner. And that show ended in 2015. Actually, it ended in 2016. But I around COVID, I was just kind of thinking about like really wanting to get back into doing interviews and things like this. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna come out with my own podcast. We sit here, we talk about music all the time as it is. Why
yeah,
not,
yeah,
just have these conversations with other creators and, put out this content and, simple fact, like, you mentioned it too, like, because I listen to a whole lot of podcasts. I listen to basketball podcasts, football
yeah. Me too.
podcasts.
You listen to Shannon.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of that type of stuff. And I take some of those little nuggets from those podcasts and bring them to, what I do and how I can get better as a podcaster as well. What I
Mm.
eventually would like to do at some point is, do more solo shows about current topics that are
Yeah.
the only thing is like going I gotta at first keep it short. That way people will stay engaged. And as I gain more and more of a following, I'll probably go with more lengthier shows. But yeah, I want to get more solo content in terms of just coming in talking about maybe trending topics in the music industry or whatever that looks like. But
Yeah.
yeah, you might as well if you want to have these conversations, do it over a podcast. And you'd
Yeah,
be
for sure.
surprised how many people really follow what you do.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Tell
All
us.
right, just go.
Oh no, no problem. Tell us a little bit, tell our listeners where can they find you at on social media and find your music at online.
Yeah, my name is Sani, recording artist based from Lagos, Nigeria, currently based in Amsterdam. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Sani Noje. Noje in my is my language from where I'm from in Nigeria, Edo State. It means king, the king. So it's Sani the king. Sani Noje, SANINOGIE on every platform, Twitter and everything. And then yeah, on streaming service, Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to music, it's Sani. Just search Sani, it's like SANI, and it's right there. And yeah, just show some love, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit my guy Sammy with a follow. I'm gonna have to hit you with a follow on Instagram as well. But yeah, I like definitely stay tapped in with you. And I like what you're doing. Go ahead, keep it up. And yeah,
Appreciate
after you
it.
drop those videos too, feel free to get at me. I'll definitely repost and get the word out on what you're doing.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No
Thank you for,
problem.
as in, thank you for, you know, listen, man. This is something I've also learned along the line. Not everyone will fucking respond. There's people that just I've reached out to people for shit. Not everyone will respond. Don't take it personal. Just keep it going. And
Yeah,
thank you for responding and actually keeping it, keeping an open mind and doing this. I've never met you before, so yeah, that's cool.
yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And you're welcome here anytime, anytime.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I want to do this again. I kind of like doing this now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, same. I don't do a lot of interviews outside of like as the
America.
person on somebody else's show. So I'm
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to, doing some stuff with you as well.
no
So
problem, man. Respect.
you could follow me on Instagram at d._major music as well as x d.mme. And then I'm also on TikTok and Threads for anybody that use Threads out there. Not on Facebook, so you won't find me on there. Any artists, music creators, music producers, if you're looking to get on a podcast, like my boy Sani says, hit me up on
Sorry.
one of those platforms and we'll make it happen. You can find new episodes of the Major Music Lounge on YouTube and all podcast streaming platforms. And it's been your boy D Dot along with Sani G, another edition of the Major Music Lounge, and we are out.